What up? What's going on? It's your boy, Jimmy Carr, certified high performance coach, here with another Sunday conversation. So, if you're watching this portion of this Sunday conversation, that means that you are in my replay. So, put hashtag replay for me. Let me know that you're checking it out. It really helps my algorithm. It really helps to be able to push this message out to more people. But I really appreciate how many people check out our lives live and also my replay, folks, man. And I see my guy Brett rolling in here. I'm glad that you made it in here this morning on the live, or this evening on the live, being able to do that. I want to talk about something here today, and I hope that it's something that touches you and brings energy for it, for you as it relates to it. Yeah, that's right. Put hashtag live for me. I appreciate you putting that hashtag live for me there. There, Brett. I've been thinking about this, and I was like, I saw something this week, and it really touched me. It made me really think about some things in my own life, and hopefully, it'll be something that will be a share for you as well too. And the thing that I want you to understand is the fact that the breakdown that you are in might actually be the breakthrough that you are searching for. The breakdown that you are in might actually be the breakthrough that you are searching for. I want you to think about it. So think about when something breaks through. People think about the breakthrough of wherever, when you get through, right? So you break through a glass ceiling, or a water breaks through a wall, or whatever it is. That tends to be a violent act. It's a violent act for the glass. It's a violent act for the wall. It's a violent act. It's something that happens. And so there has to be some sort of a breakdown that happens in right with, or as the breakthrough happens, or right before the breakthrough happens. There has to be some sort of a breakdown that happens. There has to be some sort of peace that happens there. And so I think that so many times, especially when we're extremely close to a situation, we get extremely close to a situation, all we see is the breakdown. All we see is the energy, the thing that happened, the negativity, the push, whatever those things that happen. That's all we see is the breakdown. We don't actually feel or see the fact that whatever it is breaking down in our life actually is something for us to be able to break through. So we talk about that we want to see that new change in our life. We want to see that shift. What's up? What's up, man? I see you, John. Good to see you. We talk about whether we want to see that new shift in our life, but we don't recognize or accept the shaking that goes along with that. And so that's what it is that there's a shaking that happens that goes along with that shift. And so I've lived through some shakings in my life, whether it's in my health, whether it's in my family, whether it's in my business. And in every single time I was in a shaking, what I really wanted was peace. So you're going through something, you can't sleep at night. You aren't able to it doesn't have to be necessarily these big dramatic things. It's just you're excited about whatever it is. And so there's a rumbling or a shake. I say this many times, that change happens in your life in two ways. Something new comes into your life, or something new comes out of you. It's Brandon Bouchard. But change happens in one of two ways. Something new comes into your life, or something new comes out of you. In order for that newness to come out of you, it really has to be able to shake. So I always wanted peace, but what God would give me would be pressure. And I couldn't understand that. I wanted favor, but what I would receive would be friction. I asked for a breakthrough, and what happens is that everything is breaking down. But the thing is that the shift that you want in your life almost always starts with disruption. Let me say it again. The shift that you want in your life almost always starts with disruption, because it's not just a change in location that you're getting, okay? It's shifting the foundation. So in order for you to be able to shift, it's not just a shift in location and placing where you are. It shifts the foundation of who it is that you are. And so therefore, there must be a disruption, because you cannot step into new power standing on old patterns. You cannot step into new power standing on old patterns. See, if we have these same old patterns that are there for us, the same old patterns that go in our life and that happen, then there's no way for us to be able to be in our new self, to be able to have that new shift. So the shaking is required in order for us to be able to shift. That job loss wasn't the end. It was the exit that you were afraid to take. There's a reframing that's there. That job loss wasn't the end. It was the exit you were afraid to take. That heartbreak, it actually made space for wholeness. Because maybe even before that heartbreak, you still were not the complete person it is that you needed to be able to be. That delay that happened in your life, that was just long enough for you to get aligned. Because when you have a delay in your life, then that allows for that alignment to be able to happen. We talked about that when we're driving that car that doesn't have the alignment and it's going all over the road. That delay was just long enough for you to be able to set it and be able to do so. So you don't just ask for the shift. Be willing to move with the shake. Don't just ask for the shift. We have to be ready to move and be willing to move with the shake. So many of us are in shaking season. So many of us, there's shivering that's all around us. There's people who are really freaked out about where we are in the world right now. Whether that be with the tools that are now around us, whether that be with the economy that's here in the United States, because I know we're worldwide, whether that be with what's going on, what's going to be next with us health-wise. I don't think any of us ever imagined that we'd live through like the pandemic. Like that we'd actually live through a time where people would be afraid and have to wear masks to be in the same room with people, that we wouldn't be able to connect, that people were afraid to touch each other, that were afraid to be able to reach out. And I think that what has happened is that the effects of that will last forever. I used to talk about it all the time with kids, right? Because like I look at it like this, you know, my son, he was going into kindergarten when the pandemic happened. And so if he would have started kindergarten that year, we would have had to start him in kindergarten in virtual. There were no in-person options. So we had to start regular school in, in virtual. Okay. So that wasn't going to work because I would have had to go to school. That's what that would have been. It would have been me working with him every day on the computer doing so. And so would that really have been functional for him? Would that really have been a functional place for him in order to do so? So I think that we never thought about that we'd be in this place. So there is residue from that. There's residue that comes from that affects everything that we do. So once you have been in a place, they said, hey, you can't go anywhere. Once you've been in a place and they've said, hey, this thing that was dependable to you is not dependable anymore. That's what happens is things are shaking. But that's the preparation and the part of the shift. You cannot shift without shaking things up. Let me read my guy Brett here. Things don't happen like on TV. You don't have a problem and fix it in 30 minutes. In reality, the next challenge prepares you for the next success, and the next success prepares you for the next challenge. That's absolutely true. Those are all building blocks. So what happens is that we build upon those blocks. We build upon those places. We build and be able to create and do so. So there really are no failures. There's just places where we can learn. There really isn't. And I know we may feel like that when that thing didn't happen in our life, that was a failure, but it wasn't. It was a place for us to be able to learn. And so now we have this opportunity in order to be able to do so. If things are shaking in your life right now, I want you to just take a deep breath and recognize that you're here for the shift. That we got to look and see where the shift is. So there's shaking all over the place, but there's a steady place that's right here where we can shift and climb to. That might be in telling your story better. Even if it is when you're working for somebody else, maybe you still need to figure out how to tell your story better. For your business, absolutely. It's in being able to tell your story better. You will not get put out of business by AI. You will get put out of business by someone using AI. Because people are going to use the tools and they're going to be able to work through it. I need for you to know that you can take the steps in order to be more successful in your personal life. Like literally the shaking happens. You feel like that it's not ever going to end. It's not ever going to be better. But it's just preparation for the shift. It's just a part of the shift. It's a part of the process. All right, look, I love you guys. Guess what? It is Schedule Sunday today. So this week, scheduling all the different things I had to get done this week. As you see, I'm not in my office. I'm not in the lab today because I'm on the road this week, working with some amazing businesses in person, doing that. Tomorrow's Magic Monday. Tomorrow, we're going to create the magic for several businesses for them to be able to figure out how it is that they can reach out and really be successful in their businesses and be able to make it happen. Okay. Then there's Talk About It Tuesday. We're going to talk about all of the things. You talk about your business to every person it is that you meet on Talk About It Tuesday. Work It Wednesday. We work in our business, but not necessarily on our business. So on Wednesday, for me, it's about education. How can I educate myself and be able to make sure that I am following up and being and giving the greatness it is that I have. Okay. Then Together Thursday. It's about how it is that we can work together and collaborate and be able to work. Friday's Follow Up Friday. We follow up on all the things that we missed throughout the week. And then Saturday is Sanity Saturday. I'm gonna tell you, yesterday I actually took a Sanity Saturday, like legitimately a real Sanity Saturday, and took a step and just was able to chill for a minute. And that was really, really important for me in order to be able to do so, because we really have to take care of ourselves. That shaking that's going on in your life, we still have to take care of ourselves. So I need you to be able to be focused. Miss Opal, I'm so glad. All right. So, hey, glad to see you. I'm going to send you something as well. Have a great night as this thing continues to keep trying to cut off on me. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.